Guys, listen, I'm not addicted to energy drinks, okay? I just like them. They're a part of my morning. I enjoy them. I can't live life without them. I need them, and if I don't have them, I die. I'm not addicted to them. I also hate coffee. What's up, guys? Hope y'all are having an amazing day. I'm pretty eager to get going on this. Today, we're gonna take the RB out of my Skyline. I'm quite unsure of how I want to go about this and tackle this. I don't see any ways to grab the motor, so I might have to bang up my exhaust manifold or something, and might have to use some bolts to go into the intake and just use the chain and get it up there. I'm gonna try not to scratch anything and make it, because this is it's kind of a pretty motor, kind of a pretty boy. Today we're taking out the RB25. We're gonna go ahead and build it too. A full refresh on the motor, not even a refresh, but a full build on the motor is gonna be cool. I've never done any builds in the head of a motor before, so I'm pretty excited to learn about lashing tolerances and stuff like that in the head, setting springs, valves, retainers. Ethan's gonna be coming here and we're gonna be building this together. I'm pretty psyched. I am gonna just be building the RB25. That's really the easiest and simplest option. As far as the head goes, I definitely am gonna have to do some research on how to get an oil drain in the back of the head. I'm gonna do a bottom end build, which I'm pretty stoked about. These tend to be pretty weak. I mean, the RB25s are not the worst motors that Nissan made, but they're obviously not the best either. I mean, even the RB26 really isn't that great. A lot of people are like, do an RB30 with RB26 head, and like, I think an efficient 600 horse out of a built car that's this high off the ground will be fine. If I ever do a GTR, something like that would not be out of mind, but right now, I kind of just want to keep the authenticity of the GTS 25T and keep it at RB25. My turbo and fuel system and really everything about this car is ready for 6-7 horse. This turbo is fairly efficient, but it's a spoolie boy and it needs to rev higher. We're gonna build the head, rev higher, bigger spring in the wastegate, and send the boost to the moon. It'd be nice to have 25, 30 PSI on a high boost map on this and make a super efficient, nice, fun 600 horse or so. Before I get going, I'm talking a lot, but I'm also thinking about changing the wheel setup on this car. Maybe a 1/2 inch less lip on the rear so I can get more tire, and then I'd probably actually keep the front how it is because it looks really good. But here we go, boys. This is the last time you will see an unbuilt RB25 in my GTS 25T 4-door. This car is gonna be sick. Let's go. So don't forget, last video we took the trans off, so this motor basically wants to come out right now. Radiator's gotta come out, which I'm gonna be replacing that anyways. And I honestly think most of the harness is out of the car.
Oh boy, lots of water everywhere. RB things.
You guys ready for it? Just RB things. PP on the floor. Dudes, when I was making fun of RB's last video, obviously it's annoying to change coolant, but you guys gotta calm down. I'm being funny. I'm being facetious. I've got pretty much everything unplugged. It's been a long time since I've done anything with the harness. Never really unplugged the full harness, so I think we're pretty much done. I've got all the water lines undone. The starter is dangling. Oh, one last thing. Power steering, duh. Okay, I'm about to pull it. I'm not really stoked about how I'm having to do this, but the RB doesn't have hooks on it, or at least this one doesn't. Maybe they removed it, or someone removed it, because I sure as hell didn't. I have it around three runners right now, or so. I've got this side hooked around 3 different runners, so I try to disperse the amount of weight. I looked it up online, and that seems to be how everybody does it on these, which is sketchy, but whatever. Also, it's kind of sketchy, is these M8s. 2 M8s, really, on the intake manifold side, but supposedly that's how it's done. So, wish me luck. we're gonna rip this thing out. Hopefully not rip it, like we're gonna very gracefully take it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Okay, boys, we done it. Now it's time to put this guy on a stand. I might need to readjust it a little bit first. Okay, that works, I suppose. All right, ladies and gents, we have got it on its own energy right now. I had to go to the store and get some hardware specifically for this. Some M10 by 1.5s that were perfect length, and then I went ahead and used some, you know, I kind of jimmied up some spacers to make it really secure. Tight, 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 and tight. And so it's all on its own right now. So first thing we're gonna do is this whole thing's gonna have to be disassembled. I'm gonna have to take everything apart. The head is gonna come off first. I'm actually really excited to see like what the RB looks like on the inside. I think all signs point to this car being absolutely 100% stock, but it would be kind of nice to be able to diagnose how good or bad this car has performed in its life. To my knowledge, it's never made any more than 300 something horsepower, 400 horsepower, so hopefully everything's usable and the cylinder walls are good. Oh, look how much space is in here. So much room for a 2JZ. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna put the 2JZ in the R33, call it a day. We'll finally have a good motor in it. So I was gonna end the video here, but I looked over the footage and edited the full video. I was like, you know what? Nah, let's do a longer video. Let's go ahead and get this thing torn apart. So we're gonna also tear apart the RB today and see what's inside. Hopefully there's no snacks or anything, it's just motor. Quick mid-video update. We spent most of the weekend, you know what? I'll just show you guys. We made some benches. It's pretty late, but I got amazing lighting and a beautiful shop, so I am gonna go ahead and start disassembling this RB. Let's get the turbo off, manifold off, head off. Let's get going.
There you go.
It's dirty. Nice. Yeah, dude, these are just, ooh. Check that.
Ooh.
I don't know what that's about. Wonder if water was getting into my
looks rusty oil
motor somehow. I don't think there's a leak in the intake manifold, but it's possible. The motor sat for a while. You can actually tell because like piston 1 was right there and it just sat there.
that line.
You can actually see like lines.
Yeah, and I see a line down there.
I actually see like really good cross hatching. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see what a good hone could do. But yeah, that's definitely water, dude. That is water. That is Chris Fix water. The idea here is I really want to be able to build the motor with stock sized pistons and brand new piston rings. You can kind of see a little bit of wear up and downward on that wall, but I honestly think that that might be okay too. The general rule of thumb is, obviously like take this with a grain of salt, but a good rule of thumb is you probably don't need to bore anything if your fingernail doesn't catch any part of the cylinder wall. Now that's obviously not always like the best situation, but if you ever wanted to do like a stock size piston with forged internals, it's a good option. Yeah, I see some wear and tear up and down, but I don't see any like signs of the motor having except for this is like definitely weird, but like it's obviously pretty fresh. I wonder if like I recently had an intake manifold leak or could have been head gasket too. This head gasket could have started going a little bit bad, and it looks like it might have started leaking in. So I might have been right to the point where my head gasket would have gone anyways. So pretty good so far. She's a little thick one way.
Oh, we barely missed it.
Damn. Oil pan looks okay. Oil pickup has one, that's not even a chunk. Nope, that's just plastic. Good, so that's just something, bunch of little things here and there, so.
Oh, it smells so bad. It smells like rotten
That's
eggs.
stinky. That's really stinky. There's the girdle. What?
I'm glad I'm not as sensitive as a few months ago because I feel like I'd be really sick right now.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little impressed at this point. The crank seems solid, which is really good because cranks are incredibly expensive and really shouldn't be modified because they're heat treated from factory. So, this motor is really damn good because usually, like, you hear that little sound?
Yeah.
That's basically what a rod end should sound exactly like if it's, I mean, obviously everything was torqued to factory spec because it's a factory motor, but the fact that it still sounds like that's pretty awesome. Dude, what the hell?
Wow.
That's just the rod cap, but sometimes you gotta give, well, no, this bearing is like, wow. So there's like some scratching, which is normal. There's zero copper. There's a little bit of wear on it, but I mean, that's a bearing I would expect to see from a motor this car has 60,000 miles on it. That's good. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna keep this with its respective partner.
Got it.
Okay. You see her. Oh, she gross. Let's drain her out real quick. So this little bitty rod,
That's tiny.
yeah, it's not really built, it's not really suited for 600 plus horse, but you know, she held on for a good amount of time. The bearings are great. Piston is really ugly looking. This is a funky, I don't know, this is weird. Definitely odd, but everything looks good with like normal wear. And yeah, dude, you can even, like the crank is money, which I'm really excited about. That's exciting news. Okay, I've cleaned myself up quite a little bit. Not quite as nasty. The RB is so far certainly one of the most unique motor that I've taken apart. One really weird thing about this, guys, incredibly weird thing about this, is this transmission brace. In order to put this RB onto a stand, okay, I have to have 4 holes. I have to mount it 4 different ways. There's 2 on the top of the trans. This is not a hole you can mount anything in. And you have this one, which is a brace, which is removable, and then you have this right here. There's a brace here that you can easily remove and you can take off, which is right there. This one, if it's on an engine stand, you can't remove it. And so it makes removing all of these components 10 times harder than it should be. Like removing the oil pan was kind of sketch because I had to twist it and turn it. It was just really interesting. So it's definitely the most intriguing engine that I have taken apart so far. Honestly, I'm really excited to learn about the world of high horsepower or higher horsepower RBs. JZs and stuff, I like them because they're very straightforward and they just work better naturally, like from the get-go. You don't really have to build them. There's a lot of complications and little nitpicky things that you have to be sure to be careful for. I'm definitely ready to learn those because the world of RBs are cool. Like RBs are cool, but it just takes a lot of love to get them to where they need to be. It's currently 10:15 p.m. Time to go inside and play some Scape. I should have said that. You guys don't know. Shh, I don't stream Scape. I had different daily advice for the first time I ended this video, but you know, with what's been going on in my life recently and just something I wanted to speak about is, I said something similar to this pretty recently, but life has ups and downs, has a lot of hills and a lot of valleys. Life goes up, life goes down. Sometimes when you're in a valley, it can seem like that's all that's left. it can seem like you have made it to rock bottom and there's no way to climb back up. I get that. I struggle with that all the time. Whether it's through the fluctuation of income that we make from month to month, I think to myself like, damn, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not good enough, or whether it's the fluctuation of views because of YouTube's very interesting algorithm, or just because of the change in content that I do, it's easy for me to get down and think that like I'm not good enough and I'll never make it out of a rut, basically. Every valley has a way back up. Just like every hill has a downslope, every valley has a way back up. To get back up, you might have really simple stepping stones, you might have a ladder, or it might be a wet, slippery slope, and it might take you a really long time to get back up. But guys, don't think that being at a low point is what currently defines your life. What defines you as a person is how you get back up top and how you carry on despite the lows that life has to give. Sometimes you might be just stretched too thin and exhausted and you feel like you got nothing left. You might have done something really bad. You might still be in a low from something you did a long time ago because you haven't been able to let go of something. You might be in really deep in an addiction or something you've got going on right now. And guys, I just want to tell you that that low is not what defines you, and there's always a way out of it. Just want to encourage you guys with that today for me. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys next video. Peace. Hey, I got 2 videos for you guys. What I need you to do is watch them. If anything, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn those notifications on. Click the bell so you can know when I upload. Peace.